Yeah, we're still here. It wasn't planned, but we do have a small delay. It's not a joke. We do have a small delay getting into Champion Select, so let's talk. First up, I do want to take a minute to just talk about the state of the day and what's happened, and not necessarily how it can influence anything in terms of playoff talks, because we don't really know, but we do see that some things are starting to develop.
Yeah. Oh, wow. It's actually, this is the first time I've actually taken a look at standings since the start of the day. I've just been kind of taking each result one at a time, which if you're as emotionally traumatized by the sheer amount of high stakes matches that you're seeing as me, I highly recommend one game at a time approach. But looking at it now, it's so insane to me how much a single game changes. Because I just don't think I can ever get used to our standings being this close. Obviously, incredible performance from Sjokz. You know, Origin falling down was surprising, but Vitality stepping up in a big way. It looks like some great moments, but our league's just nuts.
So, Shockers. Shocker number one.
Me?
Schalke and Origin.
Oh.
Schalke and Origin have the same score, which is just ridiculous, depending on your perspective. Shocker number two, Fnatic and Vitality have the same score, right? That, again, depending on your perspective. Shocker number three, SK is currently tied with G2. Like,
and they're playing each other.
Yeah, they're going to be playing each other at the end of the day, and like that game will definitely help separate the standings a little bit more, but like it's ridiculous because when we think about expectations coming into the split, some of the things that we talked about were number one, we expected Schalke to be better. We thought that based on how they ended the spring, we thought that they would come in looking stronger. That's not how their split started. We also said Origin should be sitting at the top of the standings because their best of fives versus Fnatic and G2 at the end of the previous split were actually insanely close. They were really competitive. And so we had all these expectations that top teams should still be good, bottom teams should be getting better, and then our split just went, expectations, off you go.
Yeah, it was a crash first into reality here, this split. And I want to double down on what you said, because the question that was on all of our minds heading into this split was, who is the third best team in our league? We believe Fnatic, we believe G2, and then who is number three, right? And the question was Mad Lions or OG. That was the best of five we never got.
Yeah.
I know for sure OG is not in the discussion right now, and that is so crazy how much that has turned, how quickly they have collapsed, because there is it's not, summer isn't the problem, but it is insane that it is happening at the same time that it did last year where OG collapsed.
As like someone who covers the league, but also looking at it from a fan perspective and just with hopes for LEC at Worlds and whatnot, it's just really weird to make sense of, because you do want to applaud the rookies that are performing so well, obviously, but you don't want it to coincide with our experienced great players to just fall off a cliff. Like, that's not what you want, and I'm just utterly confused.
Well, so I've been thinking a lot more about this, and I would say that when you look at our league, if you're looking in the context of international events, you're probably not that optimistic, which is fair, right? But the one thing I will say is that right now, the best teams in the world have access to scrim each other, but also there's a lot of good teams in the LPL. And the one thing I will say about European teams is that our top teams have always been very good at adapting and getting better. And I think that we have a lot of examples, even just this split, of like the development that Mad Lions has made throughout the split, the fact that G2 has progressively gotten better and better. Schalke is probably one of the best examples of like from zero to hero. And I think that the moment our European teams start scrimming international teams, we will get to see a very different European set coming into the World Championship.
A final nugget that I just want to say before we move on, and it doesn't decide everything, I know that, but we talked a lot about when the first lockdown situation hit and we were broadcasting from home. Is this also because some players are more comfortable at home? Now, I think regardless of that, by now, you should kind of have gotten used to it if you're a pro team, right? Or is that wrong?
For sure, to a certain degree, your performance should have, let's say, normalized, but it doesn't mean you're going to hit the same highs that you might hit in front of a crowd. It doesn't mean that you might have the same lows that you'll hit in front of the crowd if you're scared, but it doesn't, even if there's a difference, it shouldn't result in a league that's this close, right? True. Some teams should drop like a rock, maybe in theory. Some teams should rise up a little bit more, but why is everyone so perfectly close? It can't just be because we're playing online.
Well, it's all kinds of things, because like there's a meta issue, right? We've been talking about the meta literally all split long, and depending on which pro you speak to, I know Finn had a very different opinion on like how the meta, like he thinks that it can be quite variable. There's actually a lot of options, whereas you talk to teams like G2 and they say the meta is very rigid. You're kind of refined into what you can play because you have to play around Drakes. There's also the other question about how certain teams have gotten better, other teams have gotten worse. Things like Origin at their peak, I thought, was when they were very good at 1-3-1. You can't 1-3-1 right now, right? Like G2, one of their greatest things was utilizing mid-game macro, wave management, and taking advantage of just better understanding of the game, which kind of, because of the meta, you have less options. So I feel like there are all these different reasons for different teams that you can equate to, and that's just resulted in pure chaos. And also the randomness. How many games have Rogue lost to just a Baron being stolen from them? How many random games have
it's not random if it happens 5 times in a row.
Yeah, but it is. It's like, I have a, like, the fact that certain things have swung games for just random, like, I have not seen this many games in a single split be so coin flippy, where like a team is winning for 90% and then a single decision suddenly flips the game on its head.
I'm going to tell you to put a pin in this for now, but I do want to pick this up because this is super interesting discussion. I think, as you say, you know, it relies on, it's different for every team, basically, right? That's why you can't find an answer, but we will talk about this more. I do have a bit of an update because after hitting the Rift, players reported issues with ping, and League officials are working on it as we speak, and we should get into Champion Select fairly soon. 2 minutes, actually, I just got from production. So let's talk about the match at hand then. Mad Lions versus the Misfits. Mad Lions, of course, still in #1 position, but stumbling a fair bit in the last 2 weeks versus the Misfits that we would say it's going to be impossible for them to get to playoffs, but nothing is impossible.
Yeah, so I guess I want to start by talking the Mad Lions side of this because we were hyping up the match of the week this morning, and I do just want to say that I think the thing that Vitality did really well is prove that Humanoid as a mid laner can be exploited. Now, immediately they put a ton of resources mid, and I don't blame Humanoid for falling down a few times, but it was very clear once Humanoid fell that far behind that Mad Lions looked a little bit lost on the Rift. So good news for anyone playing Mad Lions is it feels like there is a recipe, maybe not perfectly tested, but a recipe for success against the team. Bad news is I don't know if Misfits are really the team to push the envelope there.
All I'm going to say is the last time they played against each other, there was a Fiddlesticks in the jungle and Misfits absolutely slaughtered Mad Lions. And I'm going to say that, like, it's the day of weird stuff happening. So if I expect some more weird stuff, you know, Misfits.
Yeah.
But if anything, you're the favorites in this.
Is it weirder if the team that's higher in the standings wins the game? Is that the weird result for the day?
That would be the weird
And on that bombshell, the teams are ready to hit the Rift. So let's head over to our casters for Misfits versus Mad Lions.
On that bombshell, welcome to the caster desk, where the standings don't matter, the points are made up, and honestly, who knows who's going to come out on top. We are going to be jumping to Champ Select in a moment or two. What is weirder, for the team higher in the standings to win today, or for Misfits to beat Mad Lions? It's such a difficult question.
Yeah, it's like what's weird based on the context of the split, what's weird based on today. I was taking notes on all the weird analysis that Vedius was giving, so we're ready to get into the draft. Let's do it.
Mad Lions will be starting on the blue side, Misfits on the red. Caitlyn has been top tier all day long. First picked in the first 2 games, banned away in game number 3. And whoa. Will Mad Lions be able to pick up a win and hold sole control of first place at the end of day 1 of Super Week, with Rogue losing earlier today? Sorry, spoilers, I think. Go watch the game, it was awesome. Let's find out. The damage is done, I just gotta own it.
I'm like, it's not a spoiler if we're like already like on the stream. I don't know. If you came here, you should already been watching the previous 3 games. But this game is better than the last 3 games because it's now, those games already happened. We had insane upsets all day long. And I don't know, I feel like it'll deliver.
In terms of stakes here, really, you know, percentage of scenarios, etc., the only thing that's really stand out is that if Mad Lions win, they guarantee a top 2 finish. And obviously with Rogue losing earlier today, if Mad Lions are able to pick up that #1 regular season seed, they will go into playoffs with the #1 playoff seed with championship points in their favor, and they guarantee an appearance at Worlds. Now, let's focus on screen. Let's have some fun with this one, as it's not a do-or-die elimination match. Ender, Set, Gangplank, Kalista, Volibear, Caitlyn is still suspicious on the ban pool, so first pick worthy.
I mean, I'm looking like a Senna as a possibility here that still has not been removed from the board. I love it. I love it. If you guys missed it, last time these 2 teams played, Razork, he locked in the Fiddlesticks. He absolutely slammed Mad Lions. It was a huge surprise by all, and they don't want to deal with that.
And I love the fact that Sona's banned away as well. Sona lacks the combination the Mad Lions used so fantastically last weekend. the Caitlyn hover, and it is locked in. Now, what we've seen today has been the Jhin counter. Do you like the Jhin counter?
I mean, I think Jhin is a fine pick into the Caitlyn.
Counter's not the right word.
Counter is never the right word
Thank
when
you.
addressing Caitlyn, because there is none.
Yeah.
She outranges you. She's going to bully you inside the laning phase. There are good options that can outscale her in the team fights later on into the match, but Jhin boasts pretty high range himself. His trading pattern with the 4 shots also means you can take some pretty decent trades against the Caitlyn in lane, and you have the outrange tools. You have the early CC as well if you pair him with an aggressive support with that W to snare him up.
Well, let's see what else gets paired alongside it. Taking their sweet time throughout the course of this game. Mad Lions, of course, remember they're coming off a win against Origin and a loss to Vitality from last weekend. And Misfits, on the other hand, they beat SK but lost to XL. So both teams 1-1. Both teams in very different positions. Misfits still looking to lock in their pick. Febiven's locked in Azir. I still have kind of mixed feelings about it. I haven't seen him have the impact on that champion that I think Misfits fans would want to see.
Look, I think the Febiven Azir is fine. I think it's good, even. I think that Febiven had a standout pop-off spring split in a very different style of mid-lane champions, but the way the meta has shifted, the way, support champions and picks have gone this split for Misfits, it hasn't really been the same wheelhouse that Febiven was playing in last splits. The Azir next to the Jhin will give you that consistent backline DPS later on into the game, but Misfits made the classic mistake here. I see a Lee Sin, I see Shadow, I see an easy clap for Mad Lions.
Whose Lee Sin is better, Shadow or Gilius?
Don't you, that's like Zeus versus,
Ladies and gentlemen at home, that is a lose-lose scenario because he either pisses off a fan base or he potentially puts his analytical credibility in question. It was an unfair question.
How
it was
dare you.
unfair. I apologize. Lee Sin, Thresh locked in there for Mad Lions. The Sejuani to join the Azir and the Jhin. So Razork will be running his first Sej of the summer season. And this will be the 7th Azir here for Febiven.
All right, and we're seeing Misfits remove the AP Cog mid counter into Febiven. I don't think Humanoid's played that yet. It's been a Caps pick here in the LEC, but an incredibly effective one. And when you're looking at a Caitlyn who boasts insanely high range too, I definitely see the merit in removing that option.
Yeah, in the 15 games that Mad Lions have played, Humanoid has played 5 unique champions. Orianna 7 times, Syndra 3, TF Azir twice each, and Galio once. But I do like the fact that Mad Lions banned Fiddle because they got wrecked by it. Misfits banned Cog because they got wrecked by it. And there's the Camille, the Syndra, the Cog. So Camille's taken out as well.
Yeah.
We know that combo stage is deadly.
Exactly. Everyone's abuzz with, Camille plus Sejuani, the top jungle combination. That combo was so broken that last spring people were playing Camille in mid lane just so they could have it next to Sejuani and look to kill stuff there too. So definitely like removing that option. Now, for Misfits, the question is, what sort of support are they going to go for? Because with Nautilus banned away, that was where my eye was initially drawn to. And I feel like you want another melee champion to help bolster the front line here. Set up for you.
We've had a Tom Kench and a Yuumi paired with Jhin earlier today, the 2 times we saw his appearance. And this will be the 3rd unique support paired with Jhin. It will be Bard for denyk. Now, of course, denyk joined the roster. 1 win, 1 loss, and this will be the first time for him on board this split.
Yeah, but I do think this is going to be a popular combination with the Jhin. 2 long-range engage spells where you can use the Bard ult or you can use the Jhin ult to sort of walk people into the Bard ult. You can combine those from very far away. You have the Sejuani too, so it's all about trying to attack areas of the map. And now Kassadin as a counter into this Azir. I like this.
For the first time for Humanoid, it's not the Cogmore counter.
It's a very different idea.
And of course, in terms of the impact that's going to have, being able to jump onto Azir, jump onto Jhin in the late stage, jump past Sejuani, I love the options.
And this is coming in specifically because they didn't see denyk lock in, a Leon or some sort of melee instant CC champion. Kassadin is not going to be troubled by Bard at all. Nope. His ability is completely worthless against him. So unless the, Sejuani is there to lock down Kassadin, even then you can't charge up your E very quickly. This Kassadin will have a huge late game payoff. Everyone going to be counting up to 16 in chat because once it hits, Humanoid will be unstoppable.
And the last lock-in here is going to be the Jax. So you've got a level 16 unstoppable Kassadin against potentially a level 16 unstoppable Jax. When two unstoppable objects meet, who comes out on top? I guess whoever gets to 16 first.
Yeah, whoever gets, yeah, sure. We'll count up. Maybe not exactly scientifically correct. I think Kassadin 16, a little bit better than the Jax. Jax wants to build up those items so he can really pop off. But this gives Misfits a really strong side lane option. Dan has been a Jax player the entire time he's been in the LEC. Big fan of this pick, and with the teamfight options already built into Misfits, this will give them more of a threat on a side lane later on, because Jaxi going to be super effective up against Renekton's stun on his W, going to work wonders right there, and of course, insane duelist in that matchup.
Yeah, and we'll see what he can do. 100% win rate on that champion. The one time they have seen it this year from Dan. It is Mad Lions taking on Misfits. If Mad Lions win, they guarantee top 2. And welcome back to the caster desk. Do you know, the second game I cast every day, I forget about that intro. I did it last week both days, and I started this one off.
How long have you been shoutcasting,
Dude, it's
Trevor?
ridiculous. But this is like a new edition, okay? I'm not used to this.
You've been doing this for 2 years.
Shenanigans. I had to ask you to explain what Keck W meant to me, right?
That is just sad.
I know. It's just the age thing. It plays
Chat will let you
my
know.
favor.
You guys got it.
Does.
You guys got it on lock.
Let's talk about early game here. Shadow's on Lee Sin. He's got a Renekton, he's got a Thresh, he's got a Caitlyn. Do you see him playing around this? Because I definitely don't see him going
Bot lane.
Humanoid.
Bot lane. Forget mid.
Yeah.
Mid's nonsense.
Yeah,
Top lane,
I agree.
Renekton, just sort of let him do his thing. You know, Orome needs to manage his wave so he doesn't get punished by Razork. But when you have Thresh Caitlyn, which is such a deadly combination, because if you're not aware, Thresh has a lot of, duration on his CC where he lands that hook on you, also the E. So you can drag people into Caitlyn traps that have time to actually bloom out and CC you down. So against a Bard, against a Jhin, this is something they're going to have to really be on the lookout for, and especially lane ganks with the Lantern over that big chunky wall and bot side is a good look for him.
And I mean some pressure for denyk as well. Make sure he hits those cosmic bindings. Try to dissuade any potential aggressive plays, but you cannot afford to misstep in that duo. We'll see how it plays out. For the time being, it'll be Kobbe and denyk arriving a little late to the party here, as they were helping out Razork in the top lane. The first cosmic binding will connect onto Kaiser, doesn't really matter. In terms of Jax versus Renekton, obviously I know how it's going to end later in the game. Dan for the time being is pushing pretty heavily. But should Renekton be able to bully him a little in the early stages?
I think when we're looking at level 1, Jax's E is really, really powerful. You saw he just walked into the minion wave, because Jax E not only is going to dodge Orome's auto attacks, it's going to dodge minion auto attacks, then it deals more damage too. So Jax is very effective at trading inside the minion wave, which is typically a weakness for a lot of top lane champions. That's why you only really see like the Jaces and the ranged champions of the world go for these insane level 1 trades. So Dan gets pressure, but I also think Orome, knowing that Shadow is pathing down away from him, isn't going to try and contest the wave control on this next one.
I'm really looking forward to the skill expression in those duels. You know, the combination of the timing on Counter-Strike, Leap, Ruthless Predator, the slice and dice, like, there's so many options and intricacies. And I think Orome, the way he has played, when he's been allowed to carry, and he has carried on this Renekton in Summer already, has been able to show off. And Shadow getting closer and closer to the bottom lane. You can see the wave was pushed to Kobbe and denyk, but it will bounce back towards Carzzy and Kaiser.
Yeah, so I really like how Misfits have gotten early information down on how Shadow is pathing here, because they have priority in both top lane and mid lane. Of course, Febiven just going to be slamming that wave against Humanoid. So that ward on the Raptor camp spotted Shadow pathing down. This now means Razork, he's looking for the move up top side, can super stack that Sejuani stun with the melee auto attacks of the Jax. You just have to be careful. Don't hit a cannon minion, because that will reveal exactly what's going on.
Yep. Arctic Assault. Arctic Assault. Will the ball...
I mean, this is never a kill. This can only be a flash.
Yeah, slice and dice and flash away. I'm still waiting for it to happen. There's the leap and the slice. And honestly, that sucked. I actually thought... But Orome just playing very defensive. The thing is...
I'm just surprised that he led with his E. And you can see when Dan's E is off cooldown, Orome lands the W. Because if you have E up, you can dodge out the stun. Yeah, right. Instead, he takes a stupid amount of damage. And Orome has more range minions here. So he can freeze it on this side.
Dan's going to look for the stun. There is some support from Razork.
Whoa!
That's a leap to the wall.
Minion!
The minion auto-chased him down. We talked about skill expression. And Orome expressed his skill all over Dan.
what? Like Orome knows Razork's up there, and he was just so confident charging in there. I can't even speak English anymore. That's how crazy Orome was going. And with the first blood, he now has the ninja tabi, so that is so good for this lane phase.
Yeah, the kill was picked up by Razork on the Misfits side, so obviously not going to be helping out Dan. Well, no dirt is the dumbest thing you've said today, Trevor. But nevertheless, just Orome punishing and playing around those windows of opportunity. As there is a window now in the bottom lane. That's the flash, flay, death sentence goes wide. Sonic Wave does not connect either. Kaiser does go very low, but flash from Kobbe traded for the flash from Kaiser.
Yeah, that's exactly what we wanted to see from Mad Lions, though, is playing around that bottom lane early on. So Orome goes nuts up top lane, gets the 1-for-1, that then opened up Shadow to walk inside of Misfits jungle. So we got the respawn of the Gromp camp, so that was going to be spawned at level 4 there. It's also the second highest EXP base camp in the game next to Krug. So Razork going to be a little bit sad about that, but I do believe he picked up a lot of experience with the kill in top side, so he still will maintain the level lead.
300 gold advantage to Mad Lions, and Shadow, now that he's made a ploy down bottom, there is a flashless Jhin to look to jump on again in the coming minutes. So you would anticipate, if there is an option available, that they would look for that.
Oh no.
What's
no,
happening?
Kobbe's so sad. He recalled on 1,280 gold.
Ouch.
That's not a BF sword. That is a pickaxe and boots.
Now, unfortunately, Carzzy on the Caitlyn pickaxe and attack speed dagger. Maybe those boots are going to come in influential. You have to dodge everything Kaiser throws you, especially flashless.
Sure. That's definitely a big deal.
I'm trying to go silver linings here, right? I'm trying to go silver linings.
It's a valid point. It's a valid point. You know, of course you want the AD, but you take what you can get. And now I think Razork is going to change up how he plays this game, because he realizes, well, top lane looking a little bit rough up there, and Dan has teleport. So now is Misfits time to buy some space for Kobbe bot side, to play for an early Mountain Soul and a skirmish around the bot lane.
Febiven was cheating towards the river. He always does fairly well whenever Razork is around, playing on the side of the river that's safer for him. Has now peeled into the river, but there's support from Shadow and from Humanoid. Misfits are starting to get surrounded. This is a 4-on-3 at best. No flash for Kaiser, so he won't be able to find anything. But if a Death Sentence connects, follow that up with the Yordle Snappy Trappy, and then we'll be able to get a kill. Instead, just a cheeky smite fight. Razork gets the crab. No, he didn't. I lied. I realized
I was
that.
like,
I looked at it and I was like,
have I gone colorblind?
No. I saw the smite come down and was like, no, that was a misstep.
Hey, we know today it's better smite wins, so things looking good for Shadow and the rest of Mad Lions. You can see after, destroying his confidence, Razork not even going to contest that dragon. Also because he has no pressure coming from bot side.
Level 5 for the time being.
Oh, hello.
Now we'll see. Actually going to go in. Remember, better smite wins. End has been predicting it all day long. Permafrost will be available in a moment. Shadow forced away. And then Sonic Wave, Resonating Strike into the pit.
Whoa!
Able to escape with the lantern, and the prison comes up now. denyk, whoa, that's way aggro. He stays alive a few seconds longer. The exhaust is buying some time. Here comes Febiven. Let's just use the shifting and conquering sands. Nothing happens, and that was a very crazy passage of play.
Well, it's getting hypey right there, Razork walks in, basically solo kills Shadow, before he has to jump out of the pit. Now Humanoid gonna take a trade against Febiven.
Super quick, if you look at the team cam right there, there was some flags on the side of the Misfits camp. Thank you, observers. Thank you, director. Those flags on the back of the Misfits mascot. Oh, I've just forgotten his name, actually. It's going to be terrible.
Bunny the Bunny.
No, I forget his name. Nevertheless, they actually come from Mad Lions. So compliments of Stress, and on the Mad Lions side, they've shared some love.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. Camaraderie, despite...
Now Misfits are going to beat them into the ground. Because Razork comes into the pit and he throws down, look at the damage from Sejuani. I think Dragon also got an auto attack in there too, but Shadow has to pop out, and then he smites early on this one. So he smites before his Q connects, I do believe. Smite, see? So if Razork had just been slightly delayed, Shadow would be able to combo that down, but then things get crazy as Shadow flashed onto a lantern. denyk goes over the wall too, but can't quite end it.
And of course, Febiven was trying to do something, held onto the flash there. I wondered if he was going to look for the flash knockup, but maybe wasn't close enough to the wall. And Misfits, they get the dragon. They're behind in gold, 500. But we've seen an interesting display around the
Choosing
dragon
words
pit.
carefully. Here we go.
I did indeed. And Kaiser again, right place at the right time. Those lanterns have just been fantastic. The dark passages always in the right place, managing to keep Humanoid alive there. He was able to save Shadow just a minute ago.
Now, look how Mad Lions are playing this, because it's super interesting. Both teams have brought their bot lanes over here, but Humanoid, who has teleport, on the contrary to Febiven. Oh, wow. Shadow gets that one as well with the auto attack. They're going to go for the fight.
Initial Prison goes down. Carzzy's in trouble. Again, the Dark Passage to safety. Now, Kobbe was trying to use the final shot there to pick up some damage, and a kickback from Shadow disengages it. These are really awkward moments, and now it's not done. Misfits are starting Herald.
Yeah, so this was really strange. Mad Lions sent Humanoid bot lane, but still tried to contest priority over River. Now I feel like they've taken so much damage, but Razork in the pit, super low as well. Mad Lions might want to go for this with the TP.
Humanoid's got that available to him. Orome's going to flash in. Death Sentence catches onto denyk, and now comes Dan. Carzzy with the ace in the hole from downtown, picks it up. Teleport will be able to bring Humanoid to the fray, and the Rift Herald is secured. It's dirty, but it's working for Mads.
Yeah, both teams just throwing down on every single objective, and I don't think Misfits are necessarily in the wrong to try and fight there. Of course, they had brought 5 people over already. They knew that they burnt a lot of HP from the side of Mad Lions, and it's a Kassadin. Level 7, level 8, doesn't matter. Like, you should be doing better than that, but denyk, who lost his flash going so ham in the fight around the Dragon Pit, was easy pickings for the Thresh Kate combo.
Yeah, I mean, when you go ham, you get eaten by a lion. That's what happens, and they're 1,000 gold up.
Do lions eat? No, I don't think that.
It's more boar, actually. Wild boar. Like Pumbaa would not be friends with Simba.
Which one's Pumbaa?
The warthog, technically.
Oh, the one that sings the
yes.
G2 song.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, okay, nice, nice.
Their motto. So, well, it's really hot in Berlin, ladies and gentlemen. It's cooking our brains alive.
Yeah, just as we go through the cast, more and more clothes just start to disappear from Quickshot's body. We already lost the jacket. The tie's going next.
That actually does happen. I'll do it in game 5 for the tricast.
Shoes are gone.
Yeah, I lost my shoes ages ago. But Mad Lions, 1,200 gold up. They've literally fended off every engage. I think you kind of expect that with like the Lee Sin being able to play around Caitlyn Thresh. They're setting up their Kassadin comfortably. But we need to see when Febi and Dan get a little bit more heavily involved. In terms of scaling options, do you think there's a little more on the side of Misfits when you consider Sej, Jax, Azir?
I'd say it's pretty even around. I think when you look at like backlines in terms of teamfight output, like Misfits, you have to give them the benefit of the doubt, but I also am never going to vote against a Kassadin when there's no reliable CC on Misfits' side apart from the Sejuani, and even then, like, her ult CCs for longer based on the distance it travels. So if Humanoid has already jumped on top of you, that's going to be a pretty brief CC. He has the Merc Treads on top of it, and because he's in Precision Tree, that also means he has access to the Tenacity rune in that second row there. So this Kassadin is incredibly slippery, incredibly hard to lock down, and I already feel like the Humanoids in chat, like, it's going to be hard to deal with.
Yeah, it really will. 0-0-0 for now. Hasn't completed a big ticket item, but Humanoid and the rest of Mad Lions looking to start a fight here. The box has come down, and that's already a kill onto Razork. He didn't even get the prison off. Orome is going to teleport in from behind and a very good Emperor's Divide, but it doesn't matter because the Sonic Wave will connect, and Orome's going to be able to pick up the kill. That's 2 easy kills and a dragon for the Lions.
And also denyk had to flash over the wall to escape from Orome and Humanoid there, so Mad Lions very much in control going for these fights. I love how they're playing this. Around their teleport advantages, they're saying, we can actually find these insane flank TPs. And now Orome...
He's even interrupting the back. He knows full well what he's doing. Fully aware.
And so we're 13 minutes on the clock. So there's 1 more minute where turret plates can be acquired. Well, this turret, it's going to fall down to the bot side. No one's there matching mid lane. Humanoid might be able to pick up an extra plate himself.
That is crazy.
Dan is so delayed on the push top side, he gets 1 maximum.
3,000 gold up already. And the tower's at risk of going down. Orome will take the Dark Passage to safety. Kaiser gets tagged 2 and 3, and the 4th and final shot goes wide. It wouldn't even have killed him anyway. Not with the pickaxe and the crit cloak.
Okay, so I was a little off on my read right there. For some reason, I thought it was Orome that was recalling was going to be able to get back topside instead of Shadow. So Dan still will pick up 2 plates, and because it was a little bit split there, it doesn't end up being quite so bad for Misfits. But what happens? Razork's trying to set up a pick inside the pit. They jump onto Kaiser. Oh, denyk doesn't land the stun on Kaiser. That allows him to CC Razork, the kick to the face from Shadow too. And then watch this. The TP comes. Febiven gets stunned as he pushes them over the wall, but Shadow goes over the wall. Kassadin goes over the wall. What is your Azir going to do when every champion on the enemy team can just slide over the wall?
Exactly. And you talked about if you don't have that reliable CC, You were talking in the context of Kassadin. That also works for every other champion on the Mad Lions. And the Rift Herald did get chucked down to help out now Carzzy and Kaiser as we've crested over 14 minutes.
And it's weird to say because, oh, Misfits have so much CC. Every champion has CC. Well, it's the reliability of it. Well, there you go. You see one more time. A professional team getting schooled by Bard when they use the Herald.
Yeah, definitely the case. Emperor's Divide from Febiven onto Kassadin, right? Optimistic at best.
Look at the flank. Look at the flank. Shadow!
So kick into the wall. Sonic Wave. Here comes Shadow. 2-0-2. 80% kill participation. 5 kills to 1. Mad Lions are crushing Misfits, and they are looking to get revenge for the defeats they suffered at the hands of Fidget, the name of Misfits mascot, which has just come to me.
I see.
And it will bounce out 1-1, and of course for Mad Lions, that will guarantee a top 2 finish if they close this game out.
Okay, Trevor, answer this for me. Have Mad Lions locked playoffs?
Yes, they have.
Yes. Mad Lions, have they locked top 2 in playoffs?
Not yet.
Not yet. What do they have to do?
Win this freaking game.
Win this game. So if they win this game, which they're on a good track to.
Yes, they are.
There's one piece of advice that I'd like to give to all the teams out there in playoffs that are going to be waiting to take on Mad Lions. Don't let Shadow play Lee Sin.
If I know this,
come on.
Listen, everyone watching the show knows I'm terrible at this game. If I know that, then teams need to put their egos aside and stop going, we can beat it. No, you can't.
And look, I get it. You know, you think Lee Sin is a sinner pick. But Shadow is sending every single team he plays against straight to hell, and it doesn't matter, okay? He's just better.
Oh, definitely the case. Well, let's see. How do Misfits come back into this, okay? They don't have a Triforce yet on Dan's Jax. Febiven in the mid lane is working towards it. Nash's Tooth, and it looks like Dan's going to be in trouble in a moment. No, he's fine. There's no support from anybody else. Just going to try push down this tower.
Orome is just rolling in it.
Yeah.
Like, he's taking baths in just money, dollar bills. Like, he's huge.
I mean, how does Misfits come back into this game? They've got to deal with a fed Renekton at 16 minutes, which is hard. And it looks like Humanoid is, you know, he's about to hit level 11 if he's not already. It's starting to get terrifying. There you go, level 11 for Humanoid. Got that Roa starting to stack up. The odds are against Misfits here.
They definitely are. Misfits, they do have the tools to find picks from long range, and that's what we're going to be looking at, but Orome is not the target for that. He can just press R, gain 1 billion HP, and walk his way out there. So Misfits need to make sure that they can back sweep through their jungle, so clear the wards inside your jungle. That allows you then to try and set up picks, especially on side lanes. But remember, the side lanes are not champions that you can actively lock down. The Orome, too tanky, Humanoid, too difficult.
Yeah, definitely the case. And I mean, when we look at the stakes here for Misfits, coming into the game, the percentage of scenarios where they would advance was 18.9%, all right? With a loss here, which is looking more and more likely, it goes from 18.9% to 6.8%. And that is a difficult scenario for anyone who's a Misfits fan, especially Kobbe, who, by the way, was one of the players that has come
sorry, did denyk just say something?
Yeah, it looks like it. Yikes, indeed.
Oof, now Dan's saying it too. What's going on there?
But I mean, and again, just to remind for everyone, that's just the percentage of scenarios in which they're able to advance. Orome is easily able to escape the Counter-Strike, and with the Infernal Drake Ender, let's turn our attention to the fight. Down 4,000 gold. Misfits are flanked and surrounded, flanked rather, by Orome. They're going to turn to try and burn him down. Instead, they've conceded control.
Misfits couldn't find the collapse on Orome, and now that flank is going to be trouble. Dan's going to try to zone him away, but he does not win that 1v1.
No, he doesn't. Dan's being jumped on by Kassadin. Now there's 3 in towards the pit. The Dragon's Rage kick comes back up. Carzzy's fired the ace in the hole. Misfits, they are running for the hills. Glacial Prison was used, but Febiven still got the Emperor's Divide.
Yeah, Shadow doesn't have a kick, though, so the disengage a little bit more lacking from the side of Mad. They're going to get the Drake, though.
Curtain Call is going up. Razork goes into the pit. Better smite.
Febi's gone.
Shadow's got it. That's a dead bird. Follow up onto the rest of Misfits. Remember, trying to escape.
Okay, Shadow, calm down, buddy.
Shadow gets another. That is fantastic. Now denyk is the next target. Level 12 on the Kassadin. And despite getting rooted on the tower, he just rift walks to safety.
Sonic Wave's just heat-seeking for Shadow. Every single one landing. Mad Lions destroy in the fight, get the Drake, and they have that Rift Herald ready to go. They're going to drop that in mid lane, get another tower, and this is how Mad Lions blow open the game, because so often we see teams slow down here. They take the outer line of towers, the dragons are down, the Rift Herald's down. What do? Well, Mad Lions take the fight and then some. Now it's all about destroying the next line of towers, taking camps inside the enemy jungle, and making it unplayable for Misfits.
I mean, really good play here from Mad. Orome backing away at the right time, and the rest of the squad responding to the fact that technically they had a bit of a numbers disadvantage for a moment.
Yeah, so I want to see what Humanoid does, because his flash was like really weak. He flashed
the wall and then Riftwalk. I think he was maybe trying to get Riftwalk damage down.
I don't, you know, whatever. We'll give it to him. We'll see what, I don't know what that was about. Humanoid was low on mana though, so perhaps fair there. He has presence of mind, so as soon as the first kill comes through, he's gonna be ready to hop in one more time. And then Febi, he gets caught out here, so Kaiser, oh, knock. He lands it. Razork walks out of the way. That leaves Febi completely hung out to dry, and then Shadow lands onto Razork, gets the kills.
Oh, feels bad, man. Febiven
What's the cooldown on that spell? He just used it.
Shadow
He's playing Earth.
Exceptional on Leeson. 3-0-3 out of his team's 8 kills. As we come out of this replay, there was some pressure on the top lane, by the way. Febiven threw down the Sun Disc, and Dandan actually teleported to try to pick a fight with Humanoid, but he was able to escape with that Riftwalk. Humanoid level 13, by the way. He'll take out the Sun Disc, and he's got himself the Chapter as well as the Rower to 8 stacks, 7 stacks now, correction. Starting to farm his way up. Orome, by the way, Black Cleaver and Blade of the Rune King. 20 minutes on Renekton, highest level in the game. He had the highest gold in the game as well. And it's just, there's nothing that Misfits can do to stop them right now.
No, Misfits just got to turtle up, but it's hard when Mad Lions just looking to dive you underneath every single one of your towers. Second turret will fall in the top lane. I think Orome is going to go steal his own team's red buff so he can go punish in side lanes even harder. And now with all those turrets removed from the map, the one good thing for Misfits is that the next Drake doesn't end the game. They get at least 5 extra minutes on top of that, but I don't even know if Mad Lions have to worry about that, because with the amount of control they have over the top side jungle, it's pretty inevitable the Mad Lions could just look for an early Baron.
I mean, something that's super important to note, right? We've talked a lot about what Mad Lions that can lock second, but if you look at Misfits, 6 wins, 9 losses. If they lose this game, they're in the Origin Schalke bracket.
They're tied with Schalke.
That's correct. That is correct, okay? Schalke are on a 5-game winning streak right now. Misfits have won 6 games total, right? And the likelihood is they're gonna lose this game. Tomorrow, Misfits play G2, and on Sunday, they play Vitality. Vitality already have a win on the board. We need to see what form G2 is in, you know, as they play the next game against SK, but it is looking more and more dire, and that's where we talked about, you know, only 7% of the scenarios, your fate is out of your hands, you need other teams to lose around you, etc. So it's very complex and very complicated, and it's heartbreaking for Misfits when you think that technically they could have been 8-7 at this point had they just beaten Fnatic in the games that they should have beaten Fnatic.
That's the most tilting thing about being a Misfits fan this split, is just throwing away wins. Similar to how like Rogue have felt pretty bad the last few games, tossing those away. Orome gets jumped on.
Yeah, let's see if he actually gets
He can't press R.
And he does. They finally kill him. He's pushed back from Empress Divide, but look at everything that Misfits had to throw at him to get the kill. Now they do. Don't get me wrong, that's a good sign.
Trev, they used an Azir ult.
Yes! That's what I'm trying to say. Like when you do
They've got other things ready to go.
Man, I mean, let's see, 8 kills to 2, 7k down, 40 seconds till Infernal.
Yeah, I mean, Orome's going to respawn before that, so Misfits, they take the gold. That's going to be important, but still would be a 5 versus 5 around the pit. That is not a fight Misfits should take. If I see Misfits walk towards the pit, I leave the desk. I'm just like, just give this one up. We're staying inside our base.
Don't leave
Baron is where you gotta, Baron's where you draw the line. Third dragon, yeah, give it.
I can't do the solo anymore. The world has higher expectations. Talking about high expectations, Rogue disappointed many people with their loss earlier today and their performance. I think that's fair. Mad not suffering the same fate. Remember, both Mad and Rogue, they lost last week, number 1 and number 2 teams. And admittedly, Misfits have kind of thrown themselves at Mad a little bit, but you've got to be good enough to catch that. And
all the teams in our league are throwing themselves at the other team.
Yeah.
So far, it's all about the 5v5. Hey, Misfits are going for it.
They are indeed. They've caught Carzzy, and that's a kick back onto Razork. inside the pit. Shadow will be able to smite it down. That's the third of the game, and Razork is locked in place. Flash forward into the Ruthless Predator. Flayed backwards. Dan's trying to run down Humanoid. He's got a Rift Walk. He can fly. You can't chase a flying void creature. And Febiven is caught out once again. Please don't leave me, Ender. I can't do this alone. Carzzy kills Febiven. The Rift Walk forward. Humanoid's got one. Not going to matter for the Counter-Strike. That's a double kill. Humanoid's not done yet. Sidesteps away from a deadly flourish. And this is how Mad Lions can open up the Baron. Misfits pick the fight and a pit that they should not have. Ladies and gentlemen, Christy Ender Frierson has evacuated the building. He did proclaim that if Misfits were to disappoint him so heavily, he would leave. I have asked stage managers to bring him back for me, but he does need a moment to gather his thoughts. As denyk will need a moment to respawn. He's taken out. Kobbe is on the run from Orome, and he will not be able to do anything. Another fantastic fight for Mad Lions, but Misfits with a goal deficit. Ender, thank you for joining me again. Thank you for not leaving me alone.
You know, I made that threat assuming that Misfits would recognize that there was no reason to walk into the pit right there. I'm like, look, I'm not going to have to leave, but I had to. I had to. Why are we doing this? And it looked close at the start. And you can say, sure, Kassadin's up in the top lane. It's a 5 versus 4, but he's going to come in with the teleport. And Misfits can't follow up on the CC. Also, these traps, what's going on? Dan steps on one inside of the brush, and then Febiven is going to get caught out by one later on. And that is fight ending, quite frankly. Look, it was just placed right there. Febiven doesn't see it. He just walked there. He steps right onto it. He just didn't see it in the river, completely throws the fight away. Misfits could have walked out.
And Razork,
oh, Shadow,
not able to find the Glacial Prison. Ace in the hole, almost kills Febiven. He's gonna hop over the wall, and now Razork is in trouble. Baron empowered Mad Lions. Flay backwards from Kaiser. Razork's gonna use the Arctic Assault to at least dodge the death sentence, but Febiven runs for his life. The Caitlyn Yordle snap trap, 10,000 gold in the lead. The Mad Lions are now sieging the turret. It is a matter of time until they close this game out, and they will hold sole control of first place. Tomorrow's match of the week, Mad Lions will be taking on Rogue. Based on today's performances, the Lions that are looking fake.
Mad Lions looking insane so far this split. They've got the inhibitor towers now, ready to knock this one down. And Humanoid, 15 out of 16. Get the Monka W's ready, because if this game wasn't over already, in one more level, it's going to be.
4-0-4 for Shadow, 3-0-5 for Humanoid, and 1-0-7 for Carzzy. Do you know what, Kaiser? 1-0-6 as well. The only Inter on the Mad Lions roster is Orome right now.
Okay, calm down. He solo killed Dan in top lane in basically a 1v2 situation. Give the man some credit.
I was going to, but you cut me off so
He's super carry Orome.
That's a truth.
That the Mad Lions pick up after their games because he spent the entire match
Yo,
carrying
dude,
that.
I just realized they're going to have a win celebration, and there's no ways we can predict it, right? But this is the first time I'll get a chance to, like, hype up the impending Mad Lions win celebration.
Give me your ideal win celebration. Like, come up with one on the spot right now.
Oh, this is so difficult. Okay, so I love the fact that they played, like, magician's tricks once, right? Where they put, like, a blanket over the camera lens.
Okay, yeah.
And then disappear.
That was good.
I'd love for them to disappear somebody, you know, just like a rabbit out of a hat.
Yeah.
Making fun of
we're
Misfits.
seeing
You're
that
with
right
me,
now.
you're with
Yeah,
me,
that's
right?
good. That's good.
So that would be the angle I'd like, but they may not be quite as literal.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's 16,
That's
by the
it.
way, and
Level
you're wondering
16.
who wins?
Well, very easily
Can you tell me?
Humanoid. I mean, no doubt about it. Admittedly, though, a Trinity Force, a Recurve Bone, a Vamp Scepter versus, you know, Seraph's Hourglass and a fully stacked Rogue. That's not exactly the most fair of fights.
Yeah.
And now 8
You
towers
clearly did the math on that.
to
3 is
0.
greater than 1.
Misfits have not taken a single tower. Not a single tower. That explains to you how dominant this Mad Lions victory is.
Yeah, poor Kobbe is sitting there 0-0-0. Hasn't seen action this entire game. Well, he's seeing it now inside of his base. Mad Lions doing the last final touches before they break this base down.
If I can get serious for a second, though, like for all the fans watching at home, when you see Rogue today, when you see Mad today, and we're about to watch G2 in a moment, when you think about the postseason, could this Mad Lions contest G2? Because frankly, Fnatic's not in the discussion right now. And we'll see what G2 play like today.
Can G2 contest Mad Lions, Trevor? Like, come on, these guys are the best team in the LEC right now. They prove it day after day, game after game. They play Rogue tomorrow, and after that, I'm like, they've got it.
I do think that after seeing my very confident Rogue prediction go down in flames, I do think there is enough doubt around G2 for that statement to hold true, right? However, they do have all of those buffs that were given to them in the D&D session, right? You know, back-to-back-to-back champions, MSI champion from last year, world finalists. Like, the amount of experience cannot be discounted, and we know they can turn it on when the pressure gets higher.
Look, Trevor, I don't care if you doubt G2. Let's say G2 come into playoffs in solid form. Mad Lions are still a team that at the very least will contest them, push them to 5, even with a strong G2 in the playoffs. And the way that Mad Lions have played this entire split long, the consistency I value from them, this team has what it takes absolutely without a shadow of the doubt to go the distance.
And in terms of best of 5s, Mad Lions have won 1 BO5 against G2. G2 have won 1 BO5 against Mad Lions. Admittedly, the scorelines are very different, but they've shown it, you know, in the spring split. Oh my word, look at this. Humanoid, Orome, Carzzy, then Febiven, and Shadow's even got more gold than Kobbe. I mean, look, it's a very one-sided victory. There's one final siege here on the cards. Misfits' percentage of scenarios available where they advance will drop down to 7% after this game. And Mad Lions have grouped up. There's still a minute until Baron if they want it. They've got themselves the Infernal Soul. It's just a matter of hitting the next.
This game's been over for the last 3 minutes, and I'm pretty sure it's just because Mad Lions are trying to figure out what they're going to do when the Nexus falls.
The thing is, in an interview last weekend, they did say that they choreographed their win moment before the day as part of their
they're choreographing it during the last 3 minutes.
We should hopefully ask that. Maybe Laure will be able to do that as the final fight's breaking out. Nexus turret number 1 has fallen. There's the ace in the hole, chunks out Razork. Dragon's Rage kicks, comes backwards from Shadow. Will he concede a death? GA is up. The only member of Mad Lions to die so far is Orome, and the Lantern will not even be needed. The Nexus gets focused down. Mad Lions guarantee top 2 in the regular season. Come on, magic trick, magic trick.
What's it gonna be? Oh, they're a little slow here today. They've got props, they've got props. He's putting something on his, he's got a guitar. The man has a guitar. They've got an amp.
Oh, Mad Lions!
Got a break!
We can't. Key player of the game, Shadow, Humanoid, Kaiser. What? A fantastic win celebration.
I can't, man.
Oh.
I'm crying. It's too good.
Coming up next, SK Gaming and G2 Esports are fighting for a playoff spot in our last game of the day. Mad, the most exciting team to watch this summer. No doubt about it. Oh, they're not ready to go. Okay, so we're still gonna wait. Yeah. So,
no, dude. How are you gonna do me like?
Okay, sorry. Are we not ready? We're ready? Okay, we're gonna keep going. Right.
Oh, Caps is fishing for everyone though, because Selfmade's burning. They're gonna grab another one, 10-4. As Wonder suddenly right back in the fight, uses his TP to get there, and Reckless is now in trouble. G2.
Right now, if we drop a game, we might not get the seed that we want, or we might just not get into playoffs. But we are still aiming to go 3-0 and secure the best seed possible.
The flank, but they're taking so much damage. Crouchshot raining it down, but Inspire now running forward. He's got a black shield, eyes on Crouchshot. He's throwing so much down. Mars is taking a lot of damage, but in the meantime, Trick rolling through.
I think G2 is a really strong team with a lot of strong individuals, top 2 at least, but they are kind of even in standings with the other teams.
Hello, everybody. Let the game begin.
And welcome back to the LEC once again. Mad Lions secure top 2 here before playoffs, and I have Carzzy to talk about basically anything but the game because it looked so easy. Carzzy, I want to talk about Caitlyn. How broken is Caitlyn right now?
Hello, so I'd say I know the champ is disgusting, like
You're fine, you're fine.
okay. If anyone is looking for free elo, just pick Caitlyn, guys. It's really easy.
Okay.
It's simple and it's I don't know, it just has no counters. People are picking Jhin. I don't know.
Adjusting
it
the
needs
mic
nerf.
and also giving tips for everyone in solo queue. Thank you, Carzzy, for helping us here. But I mean, the pick has right now 60% win rate across every region. 6-0 in the LEC. It's constantly first picked or banned. So, I mean, tell me, why did we start seeing more Caitlyn recently and randomly also?
So, I think that Caitlyn was OP before, but no one noticed. I doubt that the buff that was made with her changed so much. So I think people were just sleeping on Caitlyn.
Okay.
And it might also be because of Feels good, huge nerfs. But Caitlyn used to be a really strong AD carry when there was her era, right? So, I don't know, the champ has just a really good kit for the game, and there is not much counterplay. That's all I would say.
I was about to ask about the counterplays because we saw more Jhin when we started seeing more Caitlyn, and usually when you have a champion being so dominant, you have to get counterplays. So what kind of champions can we expect to see now that Caitlyn is so dominant in the LEC and overall?
Which champions can we expect to see against
What kind
her?
of champions? I know you can't say too much, so is this going to have an impact on the meta overall, and are we going to see some new type of champions that we didn't see before?
To be honest, I think people are gonna start banning Caitlyn soon because I don't think there is many champions that are great against her. If you pick something, I think it's kind of a coin flip. So I don't think we will see Caitlyn a lot more in next week. So I think people will start banning it.
Oh.
I don't think there is counter.
All right. Well, we'll see about that. We'll see if it gets more bans now. A bit more about the game, because I have to ask, who was the best performing player in your team during this game?
During this game?
Yeah.
That's actually hard to say. Orome got his first blood. That was really nice. Humanoid was playing Kassadin after a long time, and he played really well. But I would say Shadow, because he was very creative in that game.
And he was player of the game here. I'm glad you said Shadow, because otherwise I don't know what you could have said. But yeah, he had a great performance. And I was looking at Twitter before the interview, and Ashley Kang was actually saying that Shadow's Lee Sin could be compared to the LPL and LCK Lee Sin we see across the world. So do you agree?
I agree. I definitely agree. He's Lee Sin God.
He's Lee Sin God. I mean, he has some trouble because we have another Lee Sin God here with God Gilius, but that's a story for another day. Thank you very much, Carzzy, for the interview. We'll see more of you guys tomorrow, and we're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back for the last game of the day, SK Gaming versus G2 Esports. Stay tuned.